Okay, so thank you again. Welcome again to our community engagement virtual salon, New Jersey Family Leave Insurance, finding new ways to reach leave takers and increase uptake. So first, I just want to give you a little bit of background. The United States and Papua New Guinea are the only two countries across the world that do not have some kind of paid leave for parents. The US does have the Federal Family and Medical Leave Act passed in 1993 that includes job protection for family leave, but this is unpaid. And given the lack of federal paid leave, some states have begun to offer such programs. Currently, 11 states, plus the District of Columbia, offer paid family leave. The first 3 states to enact these policies were California, Rhode Island, and New Jersey. New Jersey's paid leave program was passed in 2008 and began paying out the benefits in 2009. And the New Jersey Family Leave Insurance Program provides partial wage replacement for leave taken to bond with a new baby, foster child, or adopted child, or to care for a sick family member. And you can see the provisions of the law here. The program started at 6 weeks and 66% wage replacement. And the definition of family was fairly narrow, but the program was greatly expanded in 2019 and 2020, with the weeks of leave increasing from 6 to 12, the wage replacement increasing to 85%, and the definition of family greatly expanding to include chosen family, or those individuals with whom you have the equivalent of a family relationship. And so while New Jersey has been a leader in passing paid family leave, this program continues to be underutilized. So here are the questions that we have for you today. How often does your organization encounter someone who might need to take leave? And this could be for giving birth, for caring for a sick family member, for caring for a parent, a spouse, any chosen family. How can organizations like yours educate potential leave takers about their benefits? What would be the best way for your employees to learn about these benefits so that they can pass along this information to potential leave takers? What opportunities do you see for organizations like yours? What are some barriers that you think you could anticipate? And what other kinds of organizations might you include in our list of intermediaries?
I think we had about 8 of our staff, of our 117 staff out on FLI in 2021, but it goes up and down. So I would say, normally the normal protocol is them transitioning from TDI, which is temporary disability insurance, to FLI, which is of course family leave insurance, and that's normally a woman giving birth and then bonding with their child. So we've had that experience. We've also had fathers who have taken advantage of the FLI as well, and other family members who are taking care of their families going through serious health issues. So we've had a number of staff in and out with FLI. And I just want to make a comment in terms of employers in New Jersey. The requirement is when staff come on that you provide them that 1-page poster that talks about FLI and the reasons for which you can use it. And it should also be in their employee handbook. But I think once with our staff, once they're ready or interested in taking the leave, I direct them to that first. And then we have a conversation. We set a time because everybody's situation is different. We still have some of our staff who want to take their FLI intermittently, maybe go out for 4 weeks and then take the remaining 4 weeks after their child is born within the first 12 months of the child's life. So there's different situations based on different criteria for the family. So I just wanted to add that in.
Having some kind of more holistic education of our own workforce would probably be one of the best ways to move forward, so that when they do come in contact with someone, there's always going to be 1, 2, 3 people that might be more interested in it or have taken leave themselves. So we'll be kind of like more of an expert on the matter. But if everybody can identify at least a situation in which a leave would be applicable or possible, that would be, I think, the key. So, making sure everybody has the proficiency to at least understand, hey, this could be a potential leave, and then passing it on to whoever, people we've decided are going to help others navigate that.
About is the people we connect with on a day-to-day basis. And so I think that, there is some credence to understanding where people get their information and tackling that head on. And so like in New Brunswick, we know this is a word of mouth community. And so places of worship become, just really important info hubs for our community. And so, while my organization has connections to the churches and the houses of worship in the area, really, I think connecting with ministers, pastors, fathers, priests, whatever you call them, rabbis, directly for, creating some awareness, some programming, or some connection with families can be really, really powerful. And then the other connection in terms of word of mouth and where families get information from are the schools. And I think I heard that in the presentation. The schools, whether you're enrolling teachers, administrators, or people who have a connection to the schools, become a critical, again, kind of info hub for families to access information from anything from national news to local community activities. Those are the two places where, if you want to focus, I think, some interventions to really take a look, at least as it relates to New Brunswick, New Jersey.
It's one thing to be aware of the fact that, family leave is available, but then it's another thing to be well-versed in the information and be able to share it with someone and guide them through the process of taking it as well. So when Rosella mentioned having some sort of self-paced course where you could learn about family leave in bite-sized portions, that to me, it spoke volumes. I have 3 children, and when I took leave, it was very different than it is now, certainly many more options. However, I can remember the process being just convoluted, and depending on the person that you spoke to, they had to go back and reacquaint themselves because of the fact that they hadn't dealt with leave in a certain period of time. They had forgotten the process, especially at the institution. So it would be helpful to not only have it in a written form, what your rights are, but what the processes are at, just on a basic level, and then giving people within institutions the guidance. Having things written down is not always the best way to educate people about process. We're seeing now that engaging individuals takes more than just a written document. We've got ways of communicating via TikTok, via Facebook, using videos, using audio, doing podcasts. Like, we're not exploring the other avenues to educate not just staff, but the individuals that are looking to take leave.
And so there's a question about opportunities you see for organizations like ours. I would encourage us to think about how we incentivize employers to be health partners on this, because the long-term benefit to companies for individuals that take leave is absolutely clear. But the short-term day-to-day productivity loss is what most employers are looking at and discouraging employees, whether they're doing it directly or not. I've heard stories of people literally getting fired for taking a day. But let's not go there. What I'll say is, I think we need to be creative about a capitalistic system that does not necessarily look at your social well-being as a priority. So how do we incentivize employers? Whether it's a rating, whether it's a tax break, whether it's, these are much larger, I think, conversations than our organizations are able to do. But if we want to, particularly those who are making less than $100,000 a year, encourage those folks to take leave, there needs to be an employer-centric strategy. And that's just from, the stories that I've heard in and around our community.
I think that works a lot with people because sometimes when you get into these conversations, it's very technical when we talk about leave. You have to be specific. And a lot of times as workers, we may not even know how much we have. So we have to be very clear with all the messaging that goes forth and strategically plan how it will be communicated.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Take care.
Thank you.